Got delayed. That's disappointing, but relieving. Like I said, you're my Miyamoto quote till I die. I should just add it to the quote database. A delayed game is good eventually, a bad game is bad forever. So today the plan is to beat FF9, and then finish the last DLC in Mass Effect 2, transition to Mass Effect 3. And then it's sub-block. We're doing Xenosaga for Cappy, and Legend of Legaia for Chaos. Probably mention this again when there's some more folks in chat, but I really wanted to thank everybody who's switching over to Patreon from Hitbox, subscribing. We've got a couple new subscribers there on Patreon. The Enemy Native and Sanguine Haze. Broken One upgraded his subscription to $10 a month. Huge thanks there. Chaos Factor is really supporting the stream going on basically single-handedly. No matter what happens, as long as Chaos is around, I'll at least be able to do 1 hour a day thanks to his $50 a month donation. Thank you, Chaos. Appreciate that. So what I've set up on Patreon, it's patreon.com/Marstead. You can see some thresholds for number of hours I can reasonably stream per day based on the donation goals I've hit. Right now I'm going to continue doing 6 hours, and I want to do 6 hours per day indefinitely. I'll keep doing that until it becomes a problem financially, because I still have some severance money from my old job that I'm parceling out for myself each month. But those numbers on the left reflect how many hours per day I can do minimum once that well runs dry. And we're pretty close to the goal where I'll at least be able to give a 2 hour per day stream indefinitely. Yeah, thank you, Chaos. So there's new chat badges now for different tiers of donation. On Hitbox, your only option was to donate $5 a month. Now you can do as little as $1 a month if you got it. If you don't, it's still a pleasure to have you here. Thank you for watching. The viewers are what make Twitch great, not just like watching a no commentary Let's Play. Yeah. Rupees, and then there's a secret badge for Chaos's donation level. I think Chaos and Andrea have it, the secret of Mana chest. I gave it to Andrea because she's also in the, like, the max tier of donation range, despite not actually being a patron on Patreon. I feel like I should be careful summoning Arc because of the reasonable chance that it's going to do the full animation, which is very, very long, as you just saw. Game's a bit loud. Thank you. Let me try to turn it down 1 second. Alright, Chaos. Let me know if the audio is improved now. I might need to just move the mic a little bit closer to my face. It's probably a bigger component of the issue. I don't think I want to go this way. Hey, Buckin, how you doing? Another ghost I can play cards against. If I were going real cray-cray about it. That's a big fireball. I think it's going to happen. So this is y'all's last chance if you have the spirit points for it. If you wanted to vote something else to beat out Valkyria Chronicles, you have until midnight tonight to do it. I'm ready to do Valkyria if that's the one that takes it. There's a chance. I think there's plenty of spirit points out there. Phoenix Wright, Secret of Evermore, maybe Bravely Default if a whale just drops their load on it. So yeah, I need to think of a game to replace Valkyria Chronicles. Mace of Zeus. Secret items all over the place. Is this his ultimate weapon, I want to say? He just Doomsday. So I guess if you wanted to fight Ozma, you should probably go to Memoria and go almost all the way to the end to get all this stuff. And then you can leave again and go fight him. It's up to you. Nuke away. And that way you are kind, Chaos. I might need to put a not RPG in the list, because almost all of those are RPGs right now, aren't they? No, I guess it's not that bad. I might need to put something like Donkey Kong Country, though, or... RPGs are incredibly likely to be in there almost all of the time. PS1 Rayman will be on there for Andrea's sub day. I think she's just going to keep that on her sub block until I beat it. So she told me that that's the game she wants to see, because it's so brutally hard. There's a game that, like, technically you can beat in an hour and a half, I guess, but realistically it's going to take you like 40 hours because of how difficult it is. It's one where to actually beat the game you have to 100% it. It's true. Dead Space isn't an RPG. Get everyone to join together and, like, force a vote, nuke Dead Space to the top. I'll be a very unhappy camper next week. I'll play it. Yeah, I should do Eternal Darkness for Halloween. That'd be cool. See if I can get my hands on it. I understand GameCube games emulate a little bit better than Wii games. Yeah, no kidding, big man. I think this one is... Thank you, Kami. Kami just switched over and also upgraded his subscription to $10. Really appreciate that, man. Making this happen. We're doing this, man. Oh, shit. So he's gonna die to that every time. Is it just Zidane, though? I can deal with it if it's just Zidane. I'll upgrade your little badge and stuff here in a second. Y'all want to try helping me out and testing that the new tiered system works for voting. Like Kami should be charged 39 Sphere points for a vote, and Chaos should be charged 30 Sphere points for a vote. You just throw a vote in something that you wanted to see anyway. That's correct, Chaos. It should already be in effect. Ooh, Geist is a cool game, Buckin. There's a game I didn't know anyone else knew about. It's this game where you play as a yeah, that would be a good Halloween game too. You play as a ghost. You're like a soldier that died, and like as you progress through the game, you have to possess things. I was like, okay, fine. Basically, it's a first-person shooter, but it's some really cool video game design space. Like you'll go into a battle, and there will be like 8 grunt guards and a boss that you have to kill. And if you think about it, the grunts in the room are effectively extra lives, because you can possess one of the guards, shoot the boss a whole bunch, and then your guard dies, and then you jump out of the guard and jump into another guard. It's pretty neat. Cool, cool. Hey, Burner, how you doing? Geist is thematic without being scary. What day is Halloween? You know, it's on a Saturday. It kind of reduces the chance that I'll play it. But we'll see. I'll talk with Andrea. We usually don't do anything for Halloween because we're lame and boring. Yeah, the spreadsheet one I haven't changed. Can you try just doing the command first, and I'll see if I can set it up so you can dump. I need to give you multiple options. Right. Hey Leon, how you doing? You don't have to spam the command, just try it once to see if it works. I think that worked. Let me make a mental note to myself. I have to update the spreadsheet so you can choose what subscriber tier you are on Patreon. Perfect. Cool, and then Kami should cost him 39. Hey Nulu, how you doing? Good to see you. He doesn't really like arc, does he? Didn't do a lot of damage anyway. I'll shoot you a message, Chaos, after stream once I have the spreadsheet corrected. I guess if you just want to figure out the math, how many votes you should be able to do at 30 per vote, you just put it in there and I'll manually correct it, the total that I remove. I have played Dragon Quest VIII, and it's a great title. If they localize the 3DS remake, I will probably play it on stream. Ah, very good, Nulu. Talk to you soon. That's a, is it a DS game or a 3DS game, Chaos? I could see if I could add that as a time donation, like a subscriber threshold on Patreon. Like, you know, reach this threshold by October 15th or something, and the last week of October will be all horror games. Let me think about it. If not, I'm sure I'll do something either on the Friday before Halloween or something similar. DS, right on. Fix your party members. You get like what, Mori and Red, I guess. Leap of Faith. Indiana Jones. Should have thrown the pebbles out first. I guess he didn't expect what the trick was. Week of horror games. Now, if I set the threshold at something reasonable. Oh, I'm actually in control here. The way he's moving is weird. Rocket Slime, right on. Fighting dudes in the void of space, girl. #1 place to fight dudes. You can use Doomsday, but you should like not use it unless if your party is immune to shadow damage because it hits everybody. Sort of like Murton in Final Fantasy VI. They had like a Dragon Quest Heroes game on display at PAX that looked pretty cool. I didn't get a chance to play it. Right, I got Rosetta healed him because he's got a ring that makes him absorb fire damage. Eternal Darkness. Got short animation though. Yeah, the Square booth was about half Eidos games. It was Hitman, Lara Croft, and another one. Just Cause, that's the one. All of which looked pretty cool. They had like a station where you could, for Hitman, where you could shave your head for charity, like donate the cost of shaving your head. You'd give them like $25 or something, and they'd give it to cancer research. Saw some people doing it. I don't know if they gave you like a temporary barcode tattoo on your neck. Can I remember other people's experience events that happened before my time? Come on, girls. Every life born into this world with a natural artificial requires a parent, and that parent also requires a parent. Life is connected one to another. Sakaguchi really likes this idea that all life is connected. You see this theme in, geez, almost every Final Fantasy game. It gets much more intense around 7. It's in 9, it's also in 10. Crystal. Blue text, so it must be important. So Garland doesn't seem like that shitty of an evil dude. It's a thing Sakaguchi really likes. He kind of left the series after he left. You don't see it in 11, 12, 13, or 14. We'll see about 15. Alien Hell Jesus. Yeah, I think this is like, we're very close to the final map of the entire game, and there's a random battle you can get into here that can completely hose a speedrun, I've heard. It's the Crystal Lich enemy. Like, if you get unlucky RNG, he can just wipe the party. So you could have been playing this game for FF9 speedruns like 11 hours or something. It's really long. And your one place where you're really in danger of wiping is maybe 10 minutes from the end of the game. These are like marginally weaker versions of the fiends we fought earlier. Shit. Well, Vivi's gonna die. If we had Reflect Null, we'd be okay. Sorry, Dagger. Basically, yeah. Like Dispel. Maybe that's an Echo ability, or it might not be in this one. Not gonna use these, may as well cast them. And then back. Probably need to bounce out of here and find a save point. I don't remember if there's one that's in this crystal area. Dark Souls would be a good one to cast. I think I should throw that on there. I intend to play that regardless, like after I get through the Metroid titles. But Metroid doesn't have a firm block each week. The way the block schedule structure works right now is the game that we've been playing the longest, that has like the most YouTube video parts, is the one that I'm focusing on each week, even if it's a short week. So FF9, FF5 for a while there took up those spots. I think we should be okay to do the final boss without too much changing of our skills and what have you. I'm super excited to play Dark Souls, though. I just recognize that it's going to be a pretty huge time investment because the game is so hard. So not so much that the game is long beginning to end, but that I'm going to die a lot. Dude, Mickey Mouse games are really good. What's the one for... May have been Sega CD? Basically, you like played through the history of Mickey Mouse, so the first level was Steamboat Willie. I think the last level was The Prince and the Pauper. The Mad Doctor! It was a really good game. There are a few things that I would say are actually and truly kids' games, and that they're intended to be consumed only by children, and there's not a lot there for adults. I'd say that's more frequently true for video games. And I guess when I say video games, I'm saying like what people agree are good video games, right? Because there's a lot of shovelware, like you know, I walk into Walmart and I look in the game case and like, you know, I don't even see the code. I just see blonde, brunette, redhead. I just see the good games. I see Mario, I see Zelda, I see titles that are quality, and like The Horses with a Z at the end, and like Pets with a Z. It's not even there in my vision. I guess they certainly exist. That'd be cool. No, I'm doing Secret Monkey Island. Yeah. Well, this is an interesting question. I'm curious. I haven't thought about this before. There are definitely TV shows that are intended to be only watched by young children. Let's say Dora the Explorer is probably one. Teletubbies is a pretty bad example. There are also kids shows that can be consumed by adults, like Sesame Street, Mr. Rogers, and there's no disparity in popularity, I get the sense. But like, I haven't heard of a lot of kids games that are intended exclusively for a children's audience that are very highly rated that everybody is a huge fan of. Like, usually it's accessible to everybody. My Little Pony is quite accessible to adults. I mean, to the point of parody at this point, but it's a good show. It's by one of the people who is involved with Powerpuff Girls, which is analogous. I think that more and more they're moving to a model where you can make material that's targeted at children, but that's definitely consumable by an adult. Adventure Time is practically not even a kid's show anymore. Some of those episodes, man. Alright, so if we were doing a speedrun, we'd be lucky because we haven't run into a Crystal Earth Fiend yet, the one that can end a speedrun in a single blow. don't know if this is gonna work, but I'll try it because I haven't tried it before. Why not? Phineas and Ferb. Phineas and Ferb is, I think that might be Lauren Faust as well, the My Little Pony revival creator lady. It's either that or Foster's Home for the Imaginary Friends. It's also a good show. Yeah, anyway, I'm curious, why is it that Dora the Explorer, which is very difficult for an adult to consume on their own and be actually entertained, why is that, like, wildly popular? But, like, you know, Sesame Street Learned to Count for the NES didn't survive when DuckTales did, you know what I mean? It's probably the aging gaming population. You hear that gamers aren't really growing among kids. It's mostly this like group of people who grew up with it, born in like the 80s and early 90s. Steven Universe looks pretty great. I've only seen a couple episodes of it, but I enjoyed what I saw. What, rocket power? Actually, there's a lot of shows too that are like almost exclusively consumable by tweens. Like Disney Channel cartoons. They're like tween soap opera kind of things. Hopefully there's another save point right before we fight the final boss. There is. Perfect. You can even teleport out from here. How convenient. Save the game. And looks like we might be ahead of schedule, provided that nothing really surprising occurs in the final boss fight. I think Amaranth is our weakest party member right now. If I teleported out, no, I'd have to run all the way back through, so I won't do that. Blue's Clues is good. It's a good companion show. It's one that an adult will have fun watching if they're watching it with their child. I do what I want. This is a game that introduces the concept of the crystal literally at the last second. The crystal was a really major component of every Final Fantasy game up through Final Fantasy V, and then it was absent in 6, which apparently drew some criticism. People were unhappy about that. Imagine the, like, you know, burgeoning internet nerds outraged. And there was no real crystal in 6. I guess you could call Materia the crystal in 7, sort of. Nothing in 8. It's interesting because, like, the Final Fantasy IX logo is, like, this big crystal. Yeah, I mean, Magicite are they look like crystals, but they weren't like the elemental crystals or like the crystal, the source of all life. They were what happened. They were the corpse of an Esper. I could hear that if you're. I guess there's nothing in 8 then. That would make it the only title, the only Sakaguchi title that has nothing even kind of remotely referencing one. If you wanted to say that, you could say that the Faith in 10 are maybe crystal analogs. Why should the world exist without me? That wouldn't be fair. Go, Trans Kuja. We've got auto life turned on a couple people, so we should be okay. This is a pretty cool song that plays in the Kuja fight. Once we get to the actual Kuja fight. Crystal Chronicles is a cool game, but it's only cool if you play it with 4 people. Garbage otherwise. This guy can one-shot your party with his meteor attack he uses. And he nearly did. Hey, Flamo has... So we're not actually fighting Kuja yet. We're gonna do Death Guys, Kuja, and then there's another one after that. Yeah, I think it's, I think 8 is as far as you can possibly get from crystals. Very different story. 10 as well. 8 and 10. I'll get Flamo to res, the name. Right. I think that the outside of healing no magic is worth casting is just a consequence of their novel design. Like, if they had made a Final Fantasy VIII 2, God, heaven forbid. And they iterated a bit. They used the same system, but they learned some lessons from the first one and found a way to make it viable, and that people would use it more often. Dude's pretty nasty. He has a bunch of like full party hits that he uses, and if you're not careful, especially in a speedrun where your party's fairly underleveled, there's a really good chance it'll just one-shot you. So I guess you come in here with auto life. You have to make sure you get it. Sure. Okay, so Final Fantasy VIII, and I'll play it on streamer then. We'll talk about it more then. Final Fantasy VIII. Characters didn't naturally have magic. Instead, everybody had a command called the draw command. Enemies had magic spells that were associated with them, so you'd get into a battle with a random, like bug. Maybe it would have fire, blizzard, cure, that kind of a thing. So what you were encouraged to do, when you would use the draw command on an enemy, you would draw between 1 and 9 like stocks of that spell. It was almost like a consumable item. And you could draw up to 99 of them. And each time you cast that spell, you'd use up one of your stocks. So if you had 99 cures and you cast it once, now you'd have 98 cures. There was no MP system. The trouble came in that they let you junction your spells to your stats. So you could, like, if you had 99 fire spells, you could junction your 99 fire spells to your strength stat to make it inordinately high. And I guess the assumption was that you'd play through the game and that you wouldn't, draw. You would draw magic occasionally. But in reality, people would say, "Oh, okay, clearly this stat gives me the biggest possible boost to strength. I'm just going to take 5 minutes to sit in this battle and draw 99 of them from this boss before the battle's over." Then you junction those to your strength. Now your attacks hit for so much damage. There's no reason to actually cast those spells because casting them actually reduces your stats. Because if you have 99 meltdowns junction to your strength, you cast meltdown on the enemy. Now you only have 98 meltdowns junction to your strength. Your strength is weaker as a result. It's usually a waste of time too because you're hitting for so much damage all the time. Everything is very trivial. On top of that, it was the only Final Fantasy to scale the enemies with you. So whenever you leveled up, the enemies leveled up too, and it didn't really help. It was still because of the overpoweredness of the draw mechanic and the junction mechanic. Even though enemies were leveling up with you, you were still vastly overpowered compared to them. Yeah, go for it, Darkstart. Song is pretty awesome. Yeah, I think that's the problem. It was an effort to make all spells relevant, I think, because they were like, okay, so yeah, you can junction the Confuse spell, but realistically, when would you ever cast Confuse? It's the problem in every JRPG that status effects would only really be useful on boss fights, and bosses are almost unilaterally immune to status effects. So they said, well, how about if certain status effects junction better to certain statistics, like maybe Confuse junctions really well with your luck stat or something. But at the end of the day, you just end up drawing 99 Confuses, junction them to your luck, and your luck is maxed out. No, Buckin, Uematsu is a huge fan of that like era and style of music, so you see it a lot. Maybe I'm a Lion is pretty straight rip from Deep Purple. Yeah. Like, yeah, if you had like a stock max among all spells, you mean? So like maybe you can only have a total of 300 spells that are drawn, like 300 stocks of spells. So you could have 99 fire, but if you choose to do that, now you only can draw 200 more things. That's actually a good idea to solve it. I think I'm gonna get myself killed. I think he still has Reflect turned on. Well, they essentially did in that Uematsu got Ian Gillan, the lead singer of Deep Purple, to sing on the boss fight song, Blue Dragon. This is the penultimate boss. Hey, time just right when the Reflect wore off. Throw aura on something. Yeah. That would be cool too, because with the enemies scaling with your level, there is very little reason to raise your level. But giving you a reason to late raise it is that your stock changes. That'd be a closer approximation of the NP system too. I think that's pretty smart. About to kill somebody. Right. Yeah, that makes sense. You would eat the fact that your stats aren't high. And wait here on VV to kill somebody. Sorry, whoever your VV kills. Right. And then you'd have to balance because the problem was that if we pretended like the attacks didn't do an obscene amount of damage, it still wasn't worth casting magic. Right. That Kiraga, look at that. Flamo's good to have just for the auto life, nothing else. Flamo is pretty resistant to holy magic. I haven't had the opportunity to use this song yet in my D&D game, although I did use the one we're going to see on the actual final boss. Yeah. I like the idea of having a global limit on what you're able to draw. That's more interesting, I think. Maybe increase the power of some of the spells you would never bother junctioning. Or never bother drawing. Flare Star. What's this shit? Pretty nasty. Was pretty nasty. Yeah, the weapons are kind of a pain in the butt. If you had a guide, you could get the ultimate weapon before you left the first area in Disc 1 by playing the card game and like desynthesizing the cards into materials. Because it was a really cool idea. it just needed to have some iteration. Like, it certainly makes sense with hindsight that junctioning was a bad idea, but at the time I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. Like, so even if I don't want someone to be a spellcaster, I should try to draw as many spells as I can for them, because I can make their stats better. Doesn't the last weapon give you the, or for Squall anyway, gives him his ultimate limit break? Right. Leon's referring to is that in Magic, for example, when they give you a starting deck, they intentionally include bad cards because it's important to the learning process of a new player to recognize when a card is bad and cut that card and replace it. It's harder to do when all the cards are comparably good and there's very little distance between an obviously bad card and a slightly better card. Yeah, player's not elemental. Usually it is, always. Yeah, I feel exactly the same way, Leon. It was a really neat idea. It just needed some more iteration. Hi, Ben. Cat hype. Just reflect. Cast on here. There must be bad cards in every set. That makes sense. Yes, Ben. Can I help you? When he behaves, he's cute. He's trying this new thing out. He's done it all this week. If you guys have noticed, he has decided he's going to go for sugar rather than spice and try to like get on my chest and start purring. Whereas historically, he'll just go knock shit over. Maybe it does. Maybe it works. Maybe he gets fed slightly earlier when he does it this way. Buddy. So soft. Guess we're Amarant. Yeah, right? He's probably still gonna go knock stuff over. Yeah, exactly. Stick hasn't worked, so now the carrot. So Andrew will do this thing where she'll be like, "Who's so soft and furry?" And then I'll be sitting across the room and she'll be like, "Dylan." I'll be like, "What?" She'll be like, "Who's so soft and furry?" I said, Ben? Ben is the one who's so soft and furry? Yes, he is. Right. That hit pretty hard. I need to... Oh shit, is he gonna like use that ability twice back to back? You gotta be kidding me. Hopefully Vivi just kills him then. There's nothing we can do about that. I guess we saved right outside if we need to attempt it again. Yes, you cast Reflect. This is very nearly almost over. That might kill Vivi, we'll see. I don't know how much damage a single target does. Whew, almost. I think I'm probably better off picking Dagger up. So I just have to hope he doesn't use an AoE ability on his turn. Okay, hit Vivi with that. Yeah, exactly. Perfect. Alright. Exactly what I wanted you to do. I don't have Phoenix, unfortunately, so I can't revive the whole party. I have to do person by person. She at least can both revive and cure, though, so there's a chance. When I inevitably wipe here, I'll attempt it again, and on my second attempt I will make sure to keep Dagger always available to cure the whole party, and make sure that Amarant is keeping everybody auto-lifed. I think we just got really unlucky that he used Flare Star back-to-back. Right, Nulu. I'm just going to keep hitting the elixir until he like casts Reflect or something and I get some respite to res somebody. Now I don't know why Transkuja is not a problem for speedrunners, but Death Guys and the Crystal Lich are. This move is so nasty. I don't think it kills her in one hit no matter what, does it? Oh, it missed her. Oh, perfect. Let's do Flamo because he can revive people as well. And Life actually gives him some health, so he has a chance. Okay, good, good. We might be okay. Zidane first, and then do a Kiraga. Whew, I thought it was game over for sure, but I think we have a chance now. I gotta get an auto life onto Garnet post haste though. Search the city. One day they'll add some kind of card that will make Search the City good, right? Hi Ben. I don't know if he's still visible on camera, but he's like sitting on my chest. Use focus. Got Max Kiraga. Gotta actually be doing some damage or this fight's just gonna go on forever. Probably cast it on himself since he can res people with hit points and recast auto life. Okay, we'll just keep Dagger on standby for now. Hey, he only had one more hit left in him anyway. I could have cast Arc or something. It's okay, we have some auto lives turned on. This is what he did last time when he party wiped us, but it was a scripted party wipe. Oh, I guess that was a scripted spellcast too, it didn't actually deal damage. It's good to know. I like when Ultima is used as a story spell and it's not like something that you can learn. Letting you use it in 6 introduces the idea and then it can just be fun after that. This is the actual final boss coming up. This song is really cool. Grand Cross. I used this in a battle against like Cthulhu-like monster in my D&D game. And I timed it so this part with like the Wailing Souls, like the narration timed up just so that the battle part came in at just the right time. It was pretty cool. Fear leads to hate, anger leads to hate, hate leads to suffering. This came out after, was it Phantom Menace? I think Yoda says that. This continues the Final Fantasy tradition of having a final boss that comes absolutely out of nowhere at the last second. return everything back to the Zero World. Who the hell do you think you are? Fears have already deluded you. Enter the Zero World that you desire. Hell no, bro. We have to fight together. Can I like heal them first? That would be really nice. They're all at 1 hit point, I think, because of the... Okay, yeah. They're gonna heal us. They're at 1 hit point because of Ultima. The out-of-nowhere final boss chaos. There's a cool one in Blue Dragon. It's kind of out of nowhere, but you're like, seriously? Okay. The song that plays is pretty awesome, too. Hey, D-Rock, how you doing, man? FF7 has a technical... Like, it's not really the final boss, because it's unlosable. It's just cutscene fight, story fight. I mean the final boss, Destroy, I think it's called. That's not a spoiler because you won't know what it is until the last second. You can look up the song for him, Destroy. Classic Uematsu, Gregorian chanting, all that fun stuff. Does anyone know what this dude does? Like what kind of spells he casts? I'm wondering if I should equip some things. Make my life easier. Probably cast like Shadow and shit, right? I'd want to give him Accuracy Plus because he was missing a few times there. Maybe Darkstar, we'll see. We'll see how much time is being taken up by it. Would I give him something else? Probably not. Maybe Gamble Defense. What does that do again? Raises defense occasionally. Equip it since I'm not using the slot for anything. Alright, here we go. Final boss. Let's do it. Oh man. A Rorschach face. Auto regen made it a piece of cake. I can probably apply regen, but I don't know if the aura skill wears off eventually. No, the auto life is permanent. Necron is his name. Song is pretty bumpin'. I'm gonna keep Dagger on standby for the fight. She needs to suddenly heal everybody. We should probably do that now. Maybe we're taking some damage. Kiraga spam. Gotta have an angel on me. Black Mages did a pretty sweet cover of this. It's Uematsu's Final Fantasy music cover band. think he uses nasty status effects. I'm not 100% sure. This might be my first time having to legitimately beat this guy. Like, usually at the end of every Final Fantasy, I'm so overpowered from grinding and doing some of the other side quests and like beating this secret boss that the final boss is trivial. So I've never had any trouble with Transkuja or this guy. This will be my first time. Excited to have it actually be a challenge. There's Grand Cross. That's his ultimate move. I guess I could use Chakra. And attacking doesn't seem to do a lot. I gotta use spare change. I'm not gonna be using Gil for anything, right? This is why having regen on everybody is so helpful, because the animation of Grand Cross is so long that everyone in your party will regen to full health while he's using it. And it inflicts a whole bunch of status effects on people. I think we have to kill Vivi. I think the only way to fix somebody who's been stopped is to kill them, unfortunately. Are you ready to pick him up? Oh, and he's got trouble on him. That's not so great. I don't think Remedy removes it. I can try using it. He's got other stuff on him too that's probably worth removing. Ouch. Oh shit, that hit pretty hard. Actually, Zidane might accidentally wipe the party because of trouble. We'll see. Not everybody died there, so we might be okay. We gotta be ready to have Dagger cure the party, though. The way the trouble status effect works is it says, if you take damage, half of the damage you take is redirected to everybody else in the party, which is why things got really bad there for a second. That's gonna kill everyone, isn't it? Oh, we're okay. Didn't think we were. Whew. Gotta take it really carefully. So it would have been okay if we had redirected half of Zidane's damage to the whole party if everyone hadn't just been reduced to low hit points. So using that method to kill somebody is a really bad idea. Looks like at least first we should remove trouble. I want to keep auto life on her at least, as our main healer. Flamo, chill, keep her on the ready, you can keep attacking. Ouch. And that attack reduces people to 1 hit point. That's why we didn't die earlier and it didn't look like he did anything. Back on Flamo. Pretty good damage from Grand Lethal, 99.99. Good you're gonna get in this one. It doesn't break the damage limit like 8 or 10. Okay, Dagger's standing by. I guess he did pull some nonsense. I don't think he ever casts, like, Ultima or anything. I guess we're likely to get hit by a bunch of status effects again. It probably would have been smart to give Locomotion to Vivi. I think everybody else has Locomotion. Every reason everyone's at full health is just an issue of removing people's status effects after this. Actually, Queen is quite good in this fight if you don't have immunity to all the status effects, because she has a blue magic spell that removes, it's like a remedy that hits the whole party. Susceptible to Doom. Consequences for that weren't too bad. Cast an aura on people, want everyone to have auto life if possible. I'd love to see more bosses be weak to status ailments and for the game to communicate that to you in some way. It's easier said than done, but it would be really neat if you had some way to convey to the player that, hey, you should use Confuse on these two enemies and the fight will be trivial. It just has to be one boss, you know. Spell gets some use. Zidane, by all rights, should be out of trance. Really easy to fill your trance meter in this fight because of that attack that reduces you to 1 hit point. Your trance meter fills relative to the amount of damage that you're doing. Being dealt, rather. Draga. Might probably throw an elixir at A, give him some MP back. Ow. Glad we did all that, auto-lifing. He's the one that I really want to get, tranced, because he can, like, put auto-life on the whole party, and it's pretty rad. Let's use Revive. That was excessive, but that's okay. We'll keep her on standby for now. Might be that trance is permanent during this fight, I'm not sure. It makes sense. That's a lot of hit points. Hey Gogims, how you been? Solution 9. Oh, that's still good enough because I don't have to bother with Grand Lethal. Okay, trance does end, it's not permanent. Fair enough, fair enough. Max level, max damage is 99.99. Max health amount is 65,535. Being classic with the, I want to say that's the 16-bit max value. 8-bit is 255. Start from 0. It's 2 to the 8 versus 2 to the 16, I think is how you remember it. We would be playing Final Fantasy IX well into next year at the rate at which I play these games, just a couple hours a day. I don't know if that's the end or if there's another phase. Oh, that must be the end. GG, alright. So we're going to watch the ending cutscenes, we're going to let all of Final Fantasy IX wrap up. We'll go ahead and do Mass Effect 2 early. And like I said, whatever has the most votes at midnight Pacific time tonight, so 11 hours from now, will be what replaces Final Fantasy IX next week. There's still a chance to supplant Valkyria Chronicles if you wanted to. I think the ones with the most chance of doing that are Phoenix Wright or Secret of Evermore. Hooray! GG. We came real close to wiping there twice at the end. That was pretty exciting. Kuja almost took us out. And if you wipe on either of those guys, it sucks. You have to go all the way back to the save point and fight death guys again. Yes. At least for the Xbox 360. I don't know if there's going to be an update for Mass Effect 3. We'll see. Cool graphics, as there usually are at the end of the cutscenes here. Good chunk of the fourth disc or the final disc in any Final Fantasy game with multiple discs is just the ending cutscenes. It's gonna happen. It's probably gonna end up being more like 2.5 hours. This ending's pretty long when you go through the credits and everything. Today they announced the Elgato HD60 Pro. Elgato is the name of the capture card that I use to stream games on consoles. Yes, sir, ma'am, sir. The Pro one is a PCIe card that you actually put inside your computer. The one that I've been using is USB. And word around the office is this new one has almost no latency. So that means there's not going to be a microphone delay anymore if I buy it and install it. I might do it. It looks pretty great. I posted some questions. There's an AMA going on in the Twitch subreddit right now. Black Friday's still a little ways away, right? 2 months. If it's really zero latency, that'd be great. I have to wear my glasses, if you've noticed, for games on the Elgato because my TV's across the room. I have to play the game on the TV because the latency's too bad if I just watch on my computer screen. But if it's really low latency, then in theory I should be able to just pull open my broadcasting software and play it directly from my computer screen and never even turn my TV on in the first place. What do you have to take care of, Zidane? This ending is like the opposite of Sevens. This is an interesting point of view. I think I really like Zidane as a character. He has a very brief moment of angst that has a really cool song associated with it. Yeah, that's why I'm excited to have an onboard card, Nilu. I mean, the convenience of it cheap, it was like the Elgato is like a USB thing, so it's like 130 bucks. It's really cheap for a capture card. The new one they have that's on board is 200, which is also pretty cheap for a capture card. I'll talk with Andrea and probably pick it up. Use some of the donations coming in on the first of the month. All right. Everybody's had a character arc. It's awesome. $4K? Wow. Just for recording and uploading, right? Streaming 4K, like, gives me an aneurysm just thinking about it. I wonder what kind of connection you'd have to have. You'd have to have some, like, pretty baller upload. Till we meet again. Hey people, thanks for the host. Appreciate that. Cool. Aww. Because Steiner is being respectful. Hey Game Boy, how you doing? Promise me, Ned. Alright, more FMV cutscene coming up soon, I think. Hey, awesome people, are you going? I've got mine right here. I live in San Francisco, so I can, or like the Bay Area. I'm like an hour north of San Francisco. South, one of the two. I'm going. If you go, we should meet up. Cool beans, yeah. I need to figure out what I'm going to do at TwitchCon. Here we go. Those graphics. Pretty cool use where they like use the normal in-game sprites on top of these like insane cutscenes. Maybe coming, we'll see. Bunch of people there trying to do the same thing. The camera angles. You're kind to say so. because that was pretty crazy. People, would you have to fly or long drive kind of a thing if you're going to TwitchCon? What's up, buddy? Yeah, sounds good. Oh, rock and roll. So you could totally head out, maybe score a hotel or something. All right, see you, Chaos. See you then. Too late. Guess Necron was a Vine load-bearing boss. That's it for Zidane. At least he got to say bye to his, like, basically brother. Godspeed, D-Rock. Oop. Is that X-Death's deal? X-Death's is like, I need to exterminate all life to end suffering. Seems to be a pretty standard, like, if you're gonna try to give a reasonable motivation to someone who wants to, like, destroy everything, that's the only one I can really think of. Although, that's an interesting theory, D-Rock, because he's in the Aoife tree, right? The whole end of the game takes place in the Aoife tree, which is essentially an evil tree from across dimensions. Ah? There's little references to all the other older Final Fantasies in this one. So remember all that stuff with the evil tree that spits out mist that has monsters in it, because that's going to come up in Legend of the Gaia, Chaos Factor's game for Subblock today. What? Groovy. No, this isn't the beginning of the game. This is what the first scene in the game looked like. Something's fishy. Hey, Vihan, how you doing? Aw. Glad that Frey gets back with Fratley. He had like amnesia and didn't remember her. Life doesn't last forever. It's the Futurama episode where it's like, yes, we can repopulate the Earth, and then our children will have children of their own, and is that really what's happened in the Bible? It's one sick and twisted book of holiness, all right. This interstitial narration is Garnet, obviously, because Zidane is dead. And they've all moved on with their lives. Hey, it's the other bounty hunter. It's a pretty good episode of Futurama. I think it's the second one after they came back on Comedy Central. Oh god, Vihan. Get the little, like, hairs off your neck kind of a thing. AZ Weapon, how you been? Been a while. Yes, please do, Burner. Thank you for asking. Which Futurama movie was my favorite? All pretty good except for the last one. Wild Green Yonder, I'm not as big of a fan of, but I like the D&D one. I like the Beast with a Billion Backs one, and I like the Bender's Big Score, the first one. I've seen them all way too many times because my wife can't sleep without sound in the background, and the sound she's chosen is like the Futurama series on Netflix on repeat. Oh, that's interesting, partner. It's not bad, I just didn't care for it as much. Weaker story. One of like 5 finales. Aww. Sid and Hildegard are gonna adopt Eiko. Everything turns out okay. Yeah, the season 10 series finale was fantastic. It was pretty perfect. If they bring it back, it's good. I feel like they could do it. The season 10 series finale is the same as like the Mighty Max. I don't know if you ever watched that show. Mighty Max was like the boys' version of Polly Pocket. It was a children's toy, and they made this cartoon that was actually pretty fucking awesome in the 90s called Mighty Max. It had a time loop ending. Well, they canceled it once, and then they did the movies. They brought it back with the movies, and then they expected to do nothing at the end of the movies, so that you count that as the second cancellation. So there's Devil's Hands or Idle Playthings is the first finale. Into the Wild Green Yonder is the second finale. Then on Comedy Central, they thought they were going to get canceled. So the one where Bender's a supercomputer, that's the third finale, and then the actual finale was season 10. It was the last time it got canceled. Decent chance it'll come back, though. It gets a lot of foot traffic on Netflix. And John DiMaggio and the cast have said that they would be perfectly happy just playing their Futurama characters until they die. Yeah. Memories will be part of the sky. So we're like maybe a year in the future. Garnet is dealing with being the ruler. I think that Futurama has the potential to survive longer than The Simpsons. Not because The Simpsons is bad, but because your setting is this crazy futuristic world where anything is possible, like time travel and shit. And outside of like the Treehouse of Horror episodes, there's only so many things you can do with a suburban family in like Midwestern United States. And I think that The Simpsons has done all of those things. So it's a more promising setting. I won't say that one is objectively better than the other. Grats, people! All right, woo! Yeah, cool beans. That seems like a good deal. I'll send you a Twitch message or something. Maybe we could meet up somewhere. Those voice actors is also Peggy on Married with Children. They do a whole episode on Futurama that's parodying that. Just the 1 in 9, right? There's like maybe a bonus after the credits scene. Yeah, exactly, D-Rock. I mean, to be perfectly honest, the Comedy Central seasons of Futurama were quite a bit weaker. A lot of them were like relying on current events and then like porting the current events into futuristic terms, like the iPhone episode, or like there's a Barack Obama episode. It worked. They were still funny episodes, but it's like you have this universe that's set in the distant future. You don't have to base everything on current events. It's kind of a shortcut to storytelling, shortcut to coming up with ideas for episodes. It works for South Park because that's their thing. I can hear that, Kami. That's not always necessarily a bad thing, though. When you're seeing new material being written by people who grew up on the material, we're starting to see that for the first time in video games. Yeah. The Conan O'Brien episodes are probably the best Conan O'Brien era when he was a writer on the show. South Park definitely won't. I mean, their thing is riffing on current events, so they're never going to run out. Have you seen was it 7 Days to Air, I think the name of the documentary? 6 Days to Air? It shows how they make South Park. Apparently they turn an episode around in like a week. It's ridiculous. Sun is our enemy too. Got that rhyming couplet though. Beseech thee, wondrous moonlight, grant me my only wish. Oh shit! Bring my beloved dagger to me! It's been like a year and she thinks he's dead. I think this is a really satisfying ending cutscene. Hooray! This is a great scene. Cool music in the background too. Careful, Buck, I haven't played 8 yet. I think we're fine, but there's some folks in chat who haven't played 8. Gotta have your pendant. What Final Fantasy game doesn't have a pendant? I think we answered that. Yeah, this is a well-shot cutscene, so to speak. It's cool that they don't have voice acting, so they have to do it all visually, and you get the point. No, you're fine, Buck, and it just, on the channel, like, I'm trying to present a lot of these games for the first time to people who haven't played them before. And there are plenty of people in chat who haven't, so if you want to talk about the end of something that we haven't played on stream yet, you can shoot me a whisper or just ask, hey, do you mind if I talk about this thing? And I'll let you know. $12, I guess anything it would be the Sakaguchi era all have pendants. Eris has the white materia in 7. Squall has his Leonhardt pendant. That's actually pretty important. Griefer. She has that one. I guess Titus has a pendant in 10, but it's not particularly important. Terra has one. Lena and Ferris have them in 5. Is there a pendant in 4? There might be. Probably 10. I mean, if you think about it, the real Final Fantasy canon is 1 through 10. Anything that's come out after Sakaguchi left they're still good games. They're just like it's like the second era basically. 14's quite good. I do enjoy the story. Oh God, Luigi, are you okay? What happened? Like that guy, Paladin Babies from Steiner and Beatrix. I told you this ending was really long. We'll start Mass Effect 2 once the credits are done. Well, tend to... Talking about my headcanon. Sakaguchi didn't have anything to do with it, so... I can argue that it was Tetsuya Nomura and team's bizarre, twisted dream baby. Yeah, it'll probably be in like November, Kami, with all the travel coming up. Yes, I did, Cloud Reaver. We'll be starting it early here. We beat it yesterday. I still need to do the after the Suicide Mission DLC, so we're going to do that in Mass Effect 2. We'll wrap that up. Then we'll start Mass Effect 3. I'm going to do the Codex session towards the end of Mass Effect 3, either towards the end or after the end of Mass Effect 3. Because if I'm going to do it, I may as well do it all at once and get all the Mass Effect 3 Codex entries in there as well. You can talk about the Mass Effect 2 ending. Yes, we beat it yesterday. Ability to talk about it unlocked. So Cloud Reaver, Cloud Reaver, I posted the original design for the Human Reaper. Let me pull it up here. Yeah, I don't think anyone actually thinks Samara is a good Morinth is a good choice. I think Stream just picked it so we could see it. We did the Morinth romance scene. The link I posted is a spoiler if you weren't watching the Mass Effect stream and aren't caught up on it. But that picture is the original concept art for what the final boss in Mass Effect 2 was supposed to look like, and man, I would have definitely preferred that. Oh, what midnight release are you going to, McMahon? HDL's pretty good at Smash. Quite good. It's definitely one of the more active credit scenes. 7 was pretty much just like text on black. In the 3D era, they usually had like airship flying around or something like that in 6. Yeah, I could hear that, Cloud Reaver. I thought that made more, like, they didn't change the text. The text still mentions the word embryo. No worries, HDL. Oh, right on. The Skylander is cool. Like, clearly it is if you're playing it. But, like, can you sell me on it? Like, what's the gameplay style? I know it's like amiibos before amiibos. It's what the Spyro folks are working on, right? Yes, sir. I really like this song. As I was saying, like, there's a reason why there's nothing on the last disc in Final Fantasy games with multiple discs except for the final dungeon, because, like, 80% of the disc is the last cutscene. It's the same thing in 7. Yeah, Cloud Reaver, I felt exactly the same way. I pointed that out too. I was like, they should have changed the text to say, give the collector base to Cerberus. Not like, you know, keep and study the collector base. Because I was saying, why would anyone pick destroy it? Like, why wouldn't you keep it? There is absolutely no reason not to. I thought maybe a better solution would have been like, either way you keep it, but you decide, do I give it to the Citadel, to like council space? Do I give it to the council, or do I give it to Cerberus? Because I could see them building the case throughout Mass Effect 2 that you should be... I didn't know that they contracted Lucas. That's cool. Skywalker Sound to do the cutscenes and stuff. Anyway, you'd think that they would have said, you know, give it to the Citadel or give it to Cerberus, because they've made a good case for Cerberus throughout the game. Well, I think Renegade's all about being pragmatic and practical, so saving it certainly makes sense. I think they made the decision to make save the base Renegade first, and then they tried to decide what does the Paragon decision become? And that was all they could come up with, was destroy it. Represents Terra and Gaia getting it on. Dagger and Zidane getting together. There you go. So there's a crystal in the Final Fantasy IX title because in the last 10 minutes of the game, they mention crystals. Not really talking about what that means. Of course, you get the prelude during the end screen. I don't think there's anything else after where it says the end. I think that's it. Mass Effect 2. Alright, give me, and then Mass Effect 3 once we finish the DLC. If somebody votes it up, you guys have 10 hours to use your sphere points. I'll post the link here. Whatever game has the most votes on that list, other than Ogre Battle 64, for reasons I can divulge if you want to know. Whatever game has the most votes at midnight tonight will be what replaces Final Fantasy IX for next week. But give me a few minutes. I'm going to throw up the BRB while I switch games over to Mass Effect. Be just a sec.